Good morning, afternoon, whatever time it is, chat. It's me, Joey. I'm here for the Kind of Funny Games cast pre-show with one Tim Gettys.
It's me.
And one Andrea Renee.
What's good, everybody? Just checking some UPS delivery notifications.
Oh, those hot
Very
UPS
exciting.
delivery stats. Let's see what's going on.
Speaking of hot UPS delivery stats, I got one today with your Switch Fix.
Oh,
Austin
Exciting. Yeah, they tweeted me a photo of it.
And it's so pretty. Yours is pink and purple, and I'm very jealous.
I'm very
man.
pumped.
I used it on the entire flight to New York, and I think I might just switch over to it as my like standard
a permanent switch.
Yeah, it's
Got it.
but no, it's good. It's real good.
There have been a lot of people, I'm just going to address it right off the bat in the chat, asking about the Grease prequel. I don't care at all about the Grease prequel. Listen.
She wants a Grease 3 or nothing.
I want a Grease 2 sequel.
Exactly. Grease 2, okay?
Yes,
Let's
thank
go.
you.
Grease 2,
4.
Tokyo Drift.
Tokyo Drift.
Here, but like, do we need
Imagine
a prequel?
Grease in Tokyo.
Do we need a prequel
No,
for
we don't
Grease?
need anything.
No.
They tell you how they met in this one
was the
song.
summer.
That's all you need.
In the beginning of the
Nobody cares.
movie.
Nobody's asking
Yeah.
for this.
I'm with you. I think a Grease prequel is a waste of space.
Give
Why?
me a HD
Who's
high def
funding this fucking
remaster
prequel
of Grease 2.
Can I
That's
take
what
your
want.
money from you and make something better
Yeah.
What would you
I like
make?
that.
instead of a Grease prequel?
Grease 2,
Literally
2?
anything else.
So how big do you think that budget is? 10 million? 20 million?
I'll give you 2.
2 million? Indie project. Okay.
Little baby.
Oh, $2 million. I could make an amazing video game wine series where we go to, this is my dream series, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
It's like,
I like all these things.
comedians in cars with
getting
coffee, but
with wine.
but with video game makers and their amazing wine collections.
Oh.
So
love it.
Yes.
we would go to their houses and talk to them about their wine collection, how they got into wine, and like the video games that they're famous for.
Do you have a wine collection?
No, because I drink all the wine I buy.
That's the thing. It's like,
the way
yeah,
to do
like,
it.
Also,
I
I'm
don't
not
think
rich enough
Gina
to
is
have a wine
capable
collection.
of having a collection.
Yeah.
Especially with me in the house.
I don't really understand. Like, I understand, like, you have these nice bottle of wine that you want to save. But,
Yeah.
like, at the same time, I just want to drink
Hold on,
it.
stop the presses for one goddamn second.
Oh,
All right, Mr. Yasman, I'm gonna need you to not give us updates on this. I've been watching the Disney stream, and I'm gonna have to catch up later. I want to watch it all myself, so don't spoil this for me. But I will take the right now. Mr. Yasman just said Disney announced they'll make a Love, Simon TV show for Disney Plus.
I haven't watched it yet.
Oh my God, I'm in. I just want to live in that world, man. I love Simon personally. Him and his friends. I just want to see what adventures they
That's
get
like
up to.
one of the top ones on my list that you've recommended that I haven't seen it.
I'm
I
gonna
know.
love this movie. Have you seen it?
No.
Love, Simon?
I've heard it's like a tearjerker.
It is
know.
so sad, but the good sad. It's good sad. It's like
Okay.
happy sad. It's
Happy
But it's
sad.
always
not like
inevitably on
Lion
every
King
flight,
sad.
and I don't want to like sob through a flight.
That's
Dude.
been my problem. Yeah.
on my flight back from Japan, I said fuck it, and I sobbed. Oh my God, I cried. I cried. I cried so hard. That movie was beautiful.
Yes, Cameron. No, it's not Cameron. Sorry, Ponzer. Video game makers do have wine collections. In fact, Bungie actually has their own unique vintage that they bottle up in Washington.
Is that going to be an episode where you go through?
It would be if I got someone to fund the show, because to do it the way I would want to do it, I need like a really good cinematographer. I need to get some good post-production, graphics, the works. I'd want to make it look nice. $2 million is a big budget. I probably wouldn't need $2 million to actually get this done. I could probably do it for like a couple $100,000.
If I had $2 million, I would
realistically.
make Idle Hands 2 with Devin Sawa.
You're just saying that because he's here.
But we have him. You know what I mean? That's like then,
$2 million is too small of a budget for a Sawa
We're
film.
not going to pay him though. You know what I mean? we already got him.
No,
we're going to
you
shoot
have
it
to
right
pay
now. We have the camera. We have him. Don't anybody
Perfect.
tell him that this is not actually Gamescast. This is actually Idle Hands 2.
With that, the remainder of that budget, can we also get a Now and Then 2 and or a Wild America 2? Or Little Giants 2?
Ooh.
Little Giants. Oh my God. Yeah.
Ooh.
Those are the Joey Devin Sawa touchstones.
Little Giants I'd be down for. Now and Then I would also be down for.
Now and Then was like a major
What I really
touchstone in
want
my
is like a True
childhood.
Beverly Hills Part 2 or whatever.
What I also want is another Teen Witch movie.
I would live for that. Yes,
With
Joey.
Blake Lively's sister, whatever her name was. So good.
Oh, Teen Witch.
Teen Witch is
I
so
only
good.
know Teen Witch from
From
the
that one-
morning show bullshit.
No, but there's so many good songs from Teen Witch. Oh, it's so fun. I feel like that would have been a Tim Gettys ass
Yeah.
movie. I don't know that it's
the
I don't
part
know
that I
it holds
know,
up. The
I
rap
fuck
battle
with hard.
Yeah.
The part that I know I fuck with hard.
Wow, America too.
Since you talk about
Hey, thanks everybody for
Heavyweights,
volunteering to
too.
be part of my show. Yeah, I'm working on it.
If you need someone to taste the wine before you do to make sure it's not poison, you got me.
You're gonna be my
I'm your
royal
girl.
taster.
I'm your girl.
Perfect.
I love that.
Heavyweights too.
Heavyweights is
Dude.
great.
It was a very
Heavyweights is
funny movie.
Too good, man.
What other movies need sequels from like that era?
What era are we talking about?
Any
Yeah, I guess
Any
that's
era?
true.
Tokyo Drift. I'm just gonna say
But
it.
there were so many sequels.
But I want to get at some point
proper
Fast and
DK.
Furious 12 Tokyo Drift 2. You know what I mean?
Tokyo to Drift.
I want it to be a sequel to Tokyo Drift, starring,
Han and
guessed it, Bow Wow.
Oh,
not-
okay.
not the-
What's
Can it-
Twinkie up to?
Oh yeah. Okay.
They called him Twinkie.
That's not, I don't know that holds up. Maybe we give him a new nickname.
Nanobiologist, I've contemplated doing a special series because, as I've said publicly before, I have What's Good Wine. I'm working on some concepts for it. I don't know if I do a site specifically on pairing. I think the audience for that would be unfortunately pretty small. I don't think we'd get as many viewers as I would need to justify the cost to make a series like that. But I want to do wine content in general. And then, of course, I would do some crossover stuff on What's Good Games with What's Good Wine. But What's Good Wine is going to be dedicated purely to wine content and wine talk. There will be no mainstay video game integration on that site.
Unless, could you find an integration like with Stardew Valley where you can be a winemaker in Stardew Valley?
Yes, but that's stuff that we would then feature like crossover content with What's Good Games.
You're thinking
Like
I like
what
this.
what starfruit wine would taste like in the bottling process.
But I mean, because people loved the tastings we did for like the Assassin's Creed wine,
Yeah.
Game of Thrones wine, and that kind of stuff. But that kind of content is really difficult to make on an ongoing, consistent basis.
God,
Yeah.
Right.
This is a spoiler for some people, and by that I mean everyone. But
Wait, what?
For nicknames, nothing that matters.
nothing that's
we
really
recorded-
spoilable.
We recorded an episode that was me and Gia doing
Oh,
a
man.
LaCroix taste test, and it might be the most disaster piece of content we have ever recorded.
I think that's like, yeah, that's a
In a good
definitive
way or a
statement.
bad
No,
way?
in a bad way, where it's like it wasn't even like there wasn't anything funny about it. It's just every step of the way the production was just wrong. And so we ended up the editor had about 50 minutes of content that he boiled down to 11 minutes. And I
Damn.
watched
Shit.
it and it actually makes sense.
Oh my gosh,
Shout out to that
that is
editor.
impressive.
They made it happen, man.
Did they make were we wrong?
We were so wrong in so
Really?
many ways that like I'm gonna need to go back and like rewatch it because like I don't even fucking know. But it's a disaster.
Also, I feel like the whole test is. I think there's a big difference between the LaCroix being warm and the LaCroix
There is a
being
huge-
1000%
that is true.
correct.
And I think that was our biggest problem.
Nicknames coming soon.
I don't know if you guys were talking about this on the main show about PSN name changes or anything and kind of first impressions or whatnot. So I'm going to stop by, say really quick. I got Sad Boy Barrett as my new PSN name.
Good for you.
Hell yeah, man.
I'm proud of you.
Gotta hold down that brand. And so far, I've only played one game, and that was MLB The Show 19. Code provided by PlayStation. And the only experience I've had with it that's like, oh, this is kind of weird, is that it had me go through like walkthrough stuff again. Oh, like, this is how you bat, this is how you pitch and stuff. Saved, like, my save data is still there and all that good stuff, but it like for some reason forgot that I had already went through those. But that was like the one little experience that I've had with it. And I'll report back if I find
there's
any
more
like,
shit.
yeah.
Are people like actually seeing things that are affecting them, or is it just people being upset about it?
I think people are nervous about, because there are talks about save data being lost and stuff. So I think people are kind of getting cold
Cautious.
feet, yeah, and being
But
cautious
when you say
about like.
talks about, does that mean like people are scared of it, or is that it's happening?
Sony did put up a list of like different tiers of like, okay, these games from before this date in 2018, these are all good. These games have some like minor problems, and then these games have like
Yeah.
major problems.
Hey,
And the
it's
list
good
of
for them saying it.
the list of games that have major problems wasn't super long. The most significant game I think in our kind of group is Everybody's Golf, which is upsetting.
Once again, not everybody's golf.
Yeah, but they're saying the there are going to be a couple major issues about save data and whatnot. So there's
I don't know that I would really care about all of my everybody's golf save data.
Yeah, it's
getting
fair.
corrupted though. Like, yeah, you'd have to go through the progression thing again, but like, that's such like a weird.
That sounds like a side thing for that
Yeah.
game. Yeah. So it's, I think people are just being cautious about possible games having those situations for after that date in 2018, whatever they said. So, yeah. So far, I've got a cool name and not Breaking Gotham 42, which.
Maybe just pick a great name right off the bat.
Yeah.
What are you looking at, Andrea?
So a friend of mine is making a chicken recipe.
Oh, are you talking about
Wow.
Yeah.
The hashtagonist, and
I
like
don't like the first
each-
picture.
Well, it's just the raw chicken breast, right?
But why it
And
has that slit down the middle?
Because
To
he's
stuff
stuffing
it,
it.
yeah.
But it looks not great.
What's it look like?
Here, I'll show you.
Damn!
So it starts. Let me start from the beginning. So this is the first. These chickens. So imagine a raw
Look at
chicken
all
breast.
these
You cut on the
chickens.
top. And you split it open like it's got a little pocket inside.
Kevin,
Yeah.
can you go to twitter.com/the hashtagonist?
Hold on.
But the O is a 0.
Demetrius is in the chat. What's up, Demetrius?
Then he's like breaded the chicken breasts, and then put some kind of seasoning on them, and then stuffed them with ham and cheese. This is chicken cordon bleu, I'm guessing.
Isn't chicken cordon bleu normally rolled
Wait,
or
Tim,
wrapped?
what's the handle?
Yes,
The hashtagonist.
Okay.
but the zero, the O is a 0.
There it is.
Please bring it up. Please scroll
Look at this
down.
cute little cat. That turned off his PlayStation. Sorry.
Hold on.
Super source.
Super hot.
Scroll down.
Super.
So
hot.
yeah, it's this thread.
The late stages. And then we get to the first stage
Yeah, so
here.
it starts.
Yep,
So
yep.
it starts with the chicken.
Is it me or does the chicken look weird?
Well, those are
It's
those
Canadian
are-
chicken.
Well, and they're not. I don't think they're
Ew.
butterflied. So I think that's like the whole breast.
Oh, interesting.
But I mean, like, it looks like it's a weird color, maybe even a weird texture.
It's
freaking
probably
me out.
organic chicken.
It looks
Right?
like a vagina.
Thank you, Tim.
Thanks for just saying what it is.
Was anyone else thinking about
Hey!
that? I don't know.
Hello.
Is that what they look like?
I'm glad that that's what got put on. That was the opening statement for this video. Way to go, Tim.
Hey, you know what? I just call it like I see it.
The only one that looks what?
You didn't start the timer.
I saved that timer for when the actual show starts, so you can get actual.
That's not how we do it.
Well, a lot of people complain on main YouTube about not having correct time codes, so that was a solution for me when I directed Gamescast a couple times.
You guys want to
Sounds
fight
like
about
a good
it?
solution.
I don't handle the time codes. I mean, I put them there, but like, do you not care about? Oh, it doesn't matter. How long the pre-show's been going?
Well,
Well,
we're waiting for Greg, aren't we?
Well, I'm pretty
No,
sure
no,
usually
I-
starts at
doesn't
3.
matter.
So.
Doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
no, this is how we should be doing it, Kev.
Okay.
This is good. Brett, you're a mastermind. Brilliant
What'd
mastermind.
you call him?
Yeah, what did you?
Brett, I was
Brett.
saying multiple things.
I
at
like that
once,
name.
All right.
I'm a fan.
Mr. Yasmin once again coming with the hot gaming topics. Tim, Andrea, Barrett, and Joey, did you guys see the news about the woman in Taiwan who had 4 bees in her eyes?
I did, and it was terrifying.
I didn't.
And
I
what?
did. I read that story.
It was terrifying.
So she apparently like woke up and she thought she had some kind of she was out in the garden, right? She thought she got like dirt in her eye. She went to go flush it with water, like you would do, and then she still felt like there was something in there. But
she got like really like puffy,
and then it got swollen, and so she went to the doctor to be like, "What the hell is going on with my face? My eyes are swollen." And the doctor like asked her a bunch of questions, then finally like took out like a little like magnifying glass and looked, and the doctor saw what he thought was an insect leg, and then he was like, "Okay, I should probably investigate." Gets the more magnified thing and was like, pulls her like eyelid back and finds out that the bees are feeding on her tear duct inside, and so they pull out these 4 tiny little bees from.
Tiny, but they must be little dudes.
Yeah, very small.
So not like
That's
bumblebees.
awful.
no, like maybe baby bumblebee.
I've talked
they're
about this
literally
before.
called sweat bees.
But
There's
can you
like
imagine if you
50
like
different
were
kinds of
born
them.
like we all die, right? And we're
Like
reincarnated.
humanity.
Like us.
Oh,
4
okay,
at this
specifically.
table.
Okay.
And we're reincarnated in
Yes,
our second lives.
Evan, thank you for that detail. I was gonna leave that part out, but yeah, she was in a graveyard.
That's fucking weird. But you're reincarnated as bumblebees.
Okay.
Wouldn't that just be the worst? You're not even a cool bee.
I don't know.
You're
Bumblebees
just-
are so happy though.
I don't know.
Just buzzing around,
What are
dude.
their,
They're
what are,
buzzing
what are the
around.
cool bees?
Wasps,
Hell
hornets,
no.
Fuck
yellow
those.
jackets.
They're
Those things
angry.
are always
Those are-
angry for no reason.
Yellow jackets are the coolest looking things in the entire world. Bumblebees?
Fashion over function, Tim Gettys. It's
Bumblebees
true.
are great.
They're so happy.
No, man.
If I was going to be reincarnated as anything, I want to be reincarnated as Portillo. He has a cushy life.
Yeah, he
He
does.
does have a cushy life. But he also,
He just gets to sleep all the time.
see, God.
But he's got so many hazards. He breaks his little legs
It's
a lot.
John
I would
Drake,
know better.
me, and Portillo. we all just want to live the same lives.
You just all want
We
to
just,
sleep.
we just want to
All right.
sleep,
Let's sleep.
man.
We're bowing out.
We just want to sleep. All
See you
right,
later.
Thank you
Thanks
guys.
for letting us
Pre-show
have this
gang.
really riveting conversation about bumblebees.
Riveting.
Ladies and gentlemen, Devin Sawa.
Hey,
Yay,
welcome
you're right.
to
We're
the
gonna have you
pre-show.
right there. Right? Yeah, right in the
Yeah.
middle there.
Sorry, you have to sit next to Greg.
Keep forgetting these are not on rollers.
Hey. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. You ready to talk about some video games?
I am.
Fantastic. How you doing, Greg?
I'm good.
You just shot an episode of an upcoming show called We Have Cool Friends.
Yeah, hard to believe.
How'd
It's
it go?
already time for that. It went incredibly well. My cool friend was Devin, and he was very cool and told a lot of cool stories.
It's very exciting.
You're telling me. Has Kevin been briefed about the embargo and all that, Jess, and what he has to do?
Well, I guess Barrett's here now.
Well, I'm just here for like a couple minutes. Is this like something that's in the very beginning
What's
of the show?
Kevin doing?
He's
Will he be-
yes. So yesterday we married Dim and Ree, right? It was beautiful. It was amazing.
Tim's in the chat.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's texting me too. Do you know he's coming over? Is he putting that in the chat?
No.
No.
So they went and turned it in at the courthouse. Courthouse highlights and like, this is wrong. You can't do this. And it's based on what I filled out there, which I fill out for every application, and none of them have been rejected before because my denomination, it doesn't matter. So I need to fill out, they're coming here to fill out a piece of paper, right? And be done with it and then get this taken care of. They're just going to come on, I said, during Games Cast, and I'll fill it out for them.
Cool.
On top of that, Kevin has the video and the pictures that he took. And so he was asking them to bring a 32-bit gigabyte drive. Of course, they don't have that. They're at the courthouse. So I have a thumb drive I gave Kevin that I believe
Got
he's
it.
setting up right now to transfer all the stuff over. So the newlyweds can get their marriage certificate done correctly and
Get their video.
Get their videos and
pictures.
pictures.
Fantastic.
Because
man.
we
Wow.
are a full-service internet powerhouse company that marries people and does shows.
It's weird. Weird
Anakin,
world.
Greg told that story on Kind of Funny Games Daily today, so you can get that mushroom story,
I do.
the fungus story,
The shotgun
the shotgun
fungus.
fungus.
You shotgunned a fungus?
No.
Oh, no.
An artillery fungus went off in my house.
He told the whole story on KFGD. Watch it.
Give me the Twitter version.
Listen
What
to
does
it.
that mean?
Jen found black spots all over the house, or all over the corner of the house, and I was like, "Clearly, it's one of your plants." She's like, "No way!" And of course, I was right. There was,
was one of the
a
plants.
fungus in the mulch that went and shot shit all over the fucking ceiling and light fixtures and walls. Very tiny,
Plants, man.
And it's not what
Don't trust the plants.
I know.
Have you seen
It's-
The Happening?
This is why you get fake
no,
plants.
it's
Mark
definitely
Wahlberg?
is, yeah, exactly. Also true.
It's
I know.
Mark
Yeah, I know.
Wahlberg.
I remember Mark Wahlberg. Yeah,
It was the plants.
I know they were.
I
They turned
think it was
against
the
us,
plants
right?
at
They
the
turned
end.
against
I don't
us.
know. They're in
Who
Paris.
knows? Yeah, they're in Paris.
At the end, they're in
That's
Paris.
how the movie ends. Is they're in
Spoilers.
Paris? I didn't know. Huh. All right, Kevin's back. Kevin, have you been briefed on the embargo stuff?
Yeah.
Cool.
Have they been briefed, the chat?
No, not yet.
Tim will
Cool.
do it now, or Tim will do it,
Great.
I guess, when the show starts.
Ladies and gentlemen, just let you know in the pre-show here, we have to do something a little bit differently because Devin went to go play a game that we can't talk about yet until tomorrow morning at 6 a.m., which is very inconvenient for all of us. So when we start talking about that game, which is going to be very early on in the show, we'll probably talk about it for dozens of minutes. I'm not sure how many.
Sure.
How
yeah,
many
yeah.
dozens.
I got
but
questions.
Good.
Kevin's got answers.
Yeah, there will be a lot going on there. We'll see. But we're going to have to silence the stream then. So please, in the chat, entertain yourselves. You know, type in what you think we're talking about. Is it the chicken breast we were just looking at? I don't know.
You were doing what now?
I don't know.
We were looking at a recipe being made on someone's Twitter feed, and the chicken breasts were cut in a very provocative way.
Oh.
But not the way that they're cut might surprise you.
Oh, really? It's
this
not-
is
it's
a
not-
BuzzFeed article. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And no, it's not. That's actually his feed. He's making that at home.
Well, and he's a pervert.
So my next question then, not about chicken breasts.
He's not a
So we
pervert.
have the power to mute it for the stream, but record it for the on-demand video?
Kevin?
No. I mean, it's going to have to get re-edited. You know what I'm saying?
If that's the case, are we home recording the audio in some
Yes.
way?
Yeah,
Okay,
we have
then we're good.
the normal recording going and a backup recording.
Fantastic.
Cool.
Fantastic.
Hang in there, Kevin.
I believe in you. How you feeling today?
Tuckered out, not great. Something's wrong with my throat. I don't know.
He didn't sleep well.
I'm in a low power all
Post wedding
day.
after party.
Yeah.
That's what he thought he said. Yeah, he thought it was cigarettes, but then he had a Mucinex.
Mucusy. It's all mucusy, and it got better with the Mucinex. So
Mucinex, not Mucinex, Mucinex. Those, I don't like the Mucinex green guys
Phlegm
they use in the
monster?
commercials.
The
Yeah, the
phlegms?
phlegm monsters. No, they're gross.
I've never seen it.
Oh, really? Don't look it up.
Don't
How do
look
you
it
see
up.
commercials nowadays?
It's been a long
on TV,
time.
on television.
What?
Who watches TV? though?
Me. If you
I got
like
rid- I
live
got-
sports, you watch TV still.
But you get
That's a good
ESPN and all that streaming now.
I'm telling you, we have all the digital apps. They work half the time if we're lucky.
Really?
You know what always works? Cable.
See, my kids, it's a different world with the kids now. My kids don't hit me up
No,
for
Kevin!
for toys or anything anymore. Because they don't see.
Oh, sure, they don't know what's happening.
They don't have. They
They don't know what's
They
happening.
don't have no
That's
idea. There's
so
no new
funny.
Barbie,
No one's
no
there
G.I.
talking
Joe.
about creepy crawlers.
Exactly. So all their cartoons come Netflix, Hulu, and there's
YouTube,
no.
yeah.
That's
no,
the weird. I was thinking about that. As we psych ourselves up to have kids, right? Of the idea that it's
a different world.
They're never gonna know what it's like to want to wait week to week to watch the cartoons or see what happens in their favorite shows.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be it's all on demand at your fingertips.
And
Go
they
do
don't
it.
see the commercials for the toys, and it's a good thing because there's no Toys R Us.
Good point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Except
what's the
still in
point?
Canada.
Is it really?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's
Oh, yeah,
still
yeah.
in Canada, yeah.
They still got EB Games up there.
That's so sad, though, in a way, if you think
EB
about
Games, it is.
I
Very
love
sad.
those toy commercials. I still remember like the Teddy Ruxpin commercials, like
Yeah.
the Skip It commercial.
Yeah. Crossfire. Classic.
Creepy crawlers.
Crossfire.
I got fired from
Mr. Bucket.
Wait, you got fired
I
from
got
a
fired from a commercial. I did a Batman commercial where I was supposed to take the Batman and put it into its light and on its mark and say a line, and I couldn't get it over the mark. So
They fired you like on the spot.
Well, it wasn't like you're fired. You're like, thank you very much, good. And as I was going out, another kid was being ushered in. It's really,
They ring Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
yeah,
in.
it was,
You're like,
Damn it, JTT.
Macaulay Culkin.
Oh, man.
Dick.
I love that so much. So yeah, once again, for the people that are coming in new, because there's an embargoed game we're going to be talking about for a while. We're going to do the intro, but then we're going to talk about a game. We're going to have to bring the audio down for us. So if you're watching live, you're not going to be able to hear it.
But if you're a
people come
lip
Are repeating what I'm saying. So, I mean,
Oh, this is right now. They can hear you.
we're live right
audio,
now.
Yeah,
okay.
we don't
Yeah, I
cut.
got
We
you.
don't cut. We don't cut the audio until we go. All right, Devin, tell us about your game. Bam.
all right.
Yeah, so that'll be great. And then we'll bring it back after that, obviously. But if people come in new and they're questioning, like, what's going on? There's no audio. Surprisingly,
Help us
it's
out.
not going to be Kevin's fault. So let everyone else know in the chat. Be nice to each other and update them. Are you ready to go, Kev?
Yep.
Okay. Fantastic.
You can just hear the beat downness in Kev's
He
voice.
doesn't
That wasn't
like it.
even a real yep from him, you know.
Give me a good yep.
No.
Oh, Kevin.
All right, let me know when you're going. Thank you. What's up, guys? Welcome to the first ever episode 217 of the Kind of Funny Games cast. As always, I'm Tim Gettys, joined by one of the coolest dudes in video games, Greg Miller.
Konnichiwa.
Yeah, oh yeah, that was a new thing. That was okay.
I'm just stealing things from other people. They say things, I say things. You know what I mean? I thought about doing the Doki Doki, taking that from Jared. Didn't
Yeah.
do it though. Tainted fruit. You know what I mean?
Tainted fruit. And as always, the busiest lady in the biz, Andrea Renee. You can
What's good,
find her
Tim?
on What's Good Games. You can find her on Twitter at Andrea Renee. Thank you very much for
I
joining
cut your
us.
intro off. I
It's
feel
all
bad
good.
about
Hey,
it now.
You said what's good.
Can we
It's
start
all
over?
jazz, man. It's all jazz. No, Kevin can't take that.
No. And for the first time on this show, you might know him from Final Destination or Casper or Idle Hands or as Stan in the Eminem Stan video, Devin Sawa.
Hello, everybody.
Hello,
How are
Devin.
you doing?
Thanks for having me. Up
This
here
is
in San
fun.
Francisco.
Yeah? Talking about some video games?
Talk about some video games.
Bring your chair up.
Am I too
no,
far?
don't bring the mic down. Bring the chair. Here, do this thing. Grab this guy. Do this thing.
You kind of really got to get up in there.
There you go.
Get intimate with
Yeah,
it.
there we go. See,
Oh.
we had you down. We weren't paying attention.
Okay,
Nobody's.
there
It's
you
just
go.
a show we're doing.
Glad to be here.
So we
Glad to be here.
we had you on earlier today,
Yeah.
recording an
The first
episode
ever-
of We Have Cool Friends. It might not be the first episode.
I think it will be.
You think so?
Have you ever known us to ever think that far and future proof and do? No, it'll be the
No.
first one.
Okay,
Yeah.
the first ever episode of We
And I
Have
also
Cool
know how
Friends.
your mind works. We didn't have the walls you wanted,
Well, now
so
I'm
you're
gonna-
not going to punch the walls. You're not going to have the walls and then
You're
no
right,
walls.
you're right,
and then
you're
switch
right.
it
Now
up.
I'm
sounded
gonna
dope, though.
gonna worry that someone's gonna be better than me and be the first
Am I about to
episode.
be bumped from We Have Cool
It's like I'm
Friends?
tuning in for the first one and The Rock is there. I'm like,
God damn it.
damn it.
Oh man! So the first ever episode, it sounded like it was fantastic. You guys were recording, looked like you had a fun time. But that
Yeah.
wasn't the reason you were here. The reason you were here is is this show to talk about video games. And stuff.
How I got here.
Don't say the game's name yet.
Yeah, so I got a strange direct message from Greg on Twitter saying just this. Would you like to go to Montreal and test a video game? Yeah. So that's what I did.
Yeah.
I went. There's a video game that I saw a preview for a few months before that, and I thought it looked amazing. It looked like a really interesting.
We're gonna talk all about
Yeah.
that in
Because that's
just
the
a little
thing.
bit.
Devin and I, Twitter friends. Obviously, he's on We Have Cool Friends. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But one of the things that's awesome about Devin is that he just loves games.
Yeah.
You talk to me about games all the time. Like, you're one of our legit friends who's like, oh, you know what? Yeah, I'm super famous. Yeah, I'm jacked. Yeah, I kickbox, but yeah, I just like video games. You say it. I
say none of that.
He DMs me all the time. So yeah, I'm jacked.
Dude, I'm jacked. I like video
So I'm like,
games.
great, Devin. I'm in the middle of something.
Hey, Greg, I was just in the mirror, and the lighting in this one particular spot.
Look at do I look jacked? Because I feel jacked.
Yeah, man, you're looking jacked. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Kind of Funny Games Cast each and every week right here on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames. We get together, talk about video games, all the things that we love about them. You can get it here on YouTube or on roosterteeth.com or on podcast services. Just search for Kind of Funny Games Cast. And also, if you want to help this show grow, you can go to patreon.com/kindoffunnygames to support. You can get the show ad free. You also get to watch the show early, whether it's live as we record it or a couple of days before it posts for everyone on YouTube. This episode is brought to you by Upstart and Warby Parker, but we'll talk about that later. For now, I want to let you know about our Patreon producers. They are DJ Kento, James Davis, and James Hastings, the James double duo to rule them all. But now, Devin, I want to talk to you about Let's start here, Devin. What have you been playing besides that game?
You know, I bought one of these.
Oh, this is a Nintendo Switch?
Nintendo
Switch it up,
Switch?
baby. Let's go.
So, they don't make a lot of adult games for this thing.
That's
Look
fair.
at Andrea! Look at how justified Andrea is.
I'm with you. I'm
know.
with you.
We got Doom, right?
Yeah.
And
Don't
then-
play Doom on this. What are you doing?
You got Diablo 3, Eternal Collection.
But everything else is like Mario Kart and like bunny rabbits and
Hey,
and
okay, here's the thing. Don't talk shit about the rabbits. And Mario Kart's fantastic.
I'm ready for them to start making a little more adult content.
Yeah, what did you buy
I'm
with
gonna
it?
keep waiting, baby.
I don't remember. I have Doom. I have Mario Kart. I have some weird little. You're like a zombie and it's a box and you go to different level. I can't remember the name of it.
How many bucks?
I didn't play
Breath
it.
of the Wild.
Yeah, get Breath of the Wild. There you go.
Have you played Legend of Zelda?
Breath of the
I haven't
Wild?
played that yet, no.
That's good.
That's
That's
it. man.
excellent,
That's
yeah.
an
But
adult game.
is it?
Yeah,
Yes.
it really is. It really is.
Yeah, for
Zelda
sure.
is?
Yeah.
All right.
Look at hater over here.
100%.
Not
I
Call of
think
Duty.
Zelda,
He
in
doesn't want to
fairness,
play.
is a game for everybody. It's not targeted towards a mature audience. It's targeted towards everybody. But
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying, that the mature market game for Switch is lacking, to say the least.
Yes. Yes. I wouldn't mind some more Battlefields or Call of Duty. Or
That's not what this is for. That's for the PlayStation 4, the Xbox
if I got to be on a
One,
6-hour
computer
flight, I
entertainment
would love to
systems.
play. I'd like.
Did you
That's
get
fair.
Diablo?
I didn't get Diablo now.
I think you would enjoy that.
I will get it.
Yeah. That's what I've been doing on all my flights because it's such a long RPG that you can
Sure.
really spend a lot of time in. And it scratches that combat itch and it feels more. Obviously, I don't think Diablo is an M-rated game, right?
Yeah, it is.
Is it?
I don't remember.
I thought it was T.
would
I
be.
thought it
Diablo
was T.
2 was at least.
Worth looking up, but
I'm on it.
that game is good. I'm trying to think of what else they've released third party that can be considered more like.
Wolfenstein.
Is that out? When did that come
Is
out?
it not out?
It's rated M.
It has to be out, really, right? Diablo 3 is rated M?
Yep. No, Wolfenstein's not out. Isn't
Really?
They're waiting for the DLC, right? The Youngbloods.
Yeah, I thought they pushed
like
it.
it's
I
just
thought
been
they pushed
forever.
it back.
Okay, my apologies.
I bought Street Fighter, the original on that.
Okay.
Awesome.
Fair. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fun to just play for 10 minutes and realize.
Mortal Kombat's
tough.
coming.
No, it's not tough. It's just like, okay,
All games
it
are
reminded
old.
me of
Yeah,
Grade 8.
well,
Now I'm back.
Mortal Kombat 11 is out in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
For Switch.
Yeah.
That'll be good. That is an adult ass game.
Yes.
Lots of blood. What?
Blood
You're shaking your head.
blood doesn't equal adult. All right. You know what I mean?
It's gratuitous
Super Mario
violence.
Odyssey is a better game than any of the bullshit we're talking about here. God damn.
I played it
You
for a
haven't
while.
even played Mortal Kombat 11 yet.
Yeah, I don't need to. I
can't say
guarantee
it's
Mario Odyssey is better than Mortal Kombat 11.
Different games.
Better.
Apples and oranges.
Yeah, okay. I'm very much looking forward to Mortal Kombat 11 coming out. I was originally going to play it on the Switch. I think it's graduated to a home console experience for me.
Yeah.
Well, that's
I
such
think-
a visual delight, right? Of watching ribs get broken and balls get ripped out.
But I don't care too much about that. It's just like I feel like NetherRealm has earned their keep when it comes to the single player experience. Right? What was once
You
for
want
me
that
like,
ownership.
oh, this is gonna be a fun playing thing. I'm like, you know what? Nah, I want to experience this the right way. Give me it on a 65-inch TV. Let's go, baby.
Are they
Let's do
doing
it.
Rage 2 on Switch?
No.
I would guess not because it's open world
Yeah.
and it's id and Avalanche, but
There's rumors of Borderlands 2 getting ported over, right? Isn't that?
2?
Yeah.
that would be good.
To Switch?
Yeah.
Bayonetta 3, I'm holding out hope for that.
Yeah.
coming
Okay. So
eventually.
last I have is a Nintendo Live February 2019 that id Software and Bethesda are still investigating if Rage 2 would be possible on Switch.
Got it. Investigating.
That could be cool. So what else have you been playing on the Switch?
Those are it. That's it.
Yeah. Okay.
And you
we
hate 'em
got to
all.
get you educated, man. We got to get
No,
you
I
some
know.
good experiences here because there's a
Looks
lot
like
on
it,
this
I
thing, man.
put it in a drawer. And it was when it first 2 years ago, year and a half ago.
Yeah.
It was spring 2017.
Yeah.
2 years ago.
And I just I bought a few games for it and then realized I wasn't into it and put it in a drawer. And that was
Yeah,
it. Didn't
yeah.
go back to it.
It's like me and the Vita.
All right. First off,
what's the Vita?
curse your tongue. First off, curse your
That's a
tongue.
solid question.
Vita is what came and made this thing possible. All right. It died for the Switch's
Oh,
sins.
the old PlayStation handle.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
I
exactly.
had that too.
Yeah.
I had that too.
Correct.
That's older though. That's
A
like
lot of people.
The Vita's
5
older.
Yeah. It came out in what, 2011?
Might
Sounds
check it out.
right.
Yeah. I'm not the date guy. I never was. I was always just like, I enjoy this. Yes.
Off the Switch though, what have you been playing
off this was
instead of the Switch?
Like,
Like PlayStation, Xbox.
just Call of Duty, the last Call of Duty. That's
you
it.
playing Blackout, the Battle Royale mode?
No, the one with the World War II one.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So a while
yeah,
back.
yeah. Sledgehammer.
Well, no, I knew it was old when I bought it.
Oh, sure, yeah.
I don't really
What do you care?
But
Yeah,
the
well,
graphics
yeah,
on
I
that
just-
one are gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah. And,
And then also the Battlefield World War II one, I think.
Okay.
Battlefield 5.
Is that it?
Yeah,
That's
with
the last
the war
one from
stories and all
last
that
fall.
stuff.
I love those games. I love the campaigns on them.
And they do a lot of updates. I just got an email about another update they're doing for
That's the
Battlefield
thing. See,
5.
I'm the type of gamer that I don't play enough that when I do go to play, I've got about an hour and a half of updates before I can actually
Sucks.
play.
I'm with you, man.
So then I'm like,
I feel you.
man.
Greg.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Switch and cool games, adult games, if you will.
Oh, Katana Zero.
Katana Zero.
Barrett played it and beat it too. He's like, I think I'm right there. I have like one more
at
VHS
the end of
tape
it?
to do and stuff. But me and Barrett have put a lot of time
Yeah,
into
bring
this
up
guy.
Katana Zero, please.
This is a samurai.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
perfectly honest. I don't really know much about what Katana Zero is.
Perfect. Okay, so it was shown at the Nindies event at GDC and showed during the Nindies showcase at GDC. 2D side scroller deal, right? Where you're going through and you
cool.
are this ninja, right? It's like, what was it?
Like Shinobi style kind of thing?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. I don't want to say cyberpunk, right? But it's that neo-noir, like Neo-Tokyo kind of look to it. Beautiful. If Andy was to go make a game, he would use his color palette, obviously, and it would be those
Oh, yeah, this is
neons.
dope.
Right, yeah,
Look
exactly.
how good is this?
And this is what you're talking about too, right? You want an adult game for your Switch, right? This is, you are an assassin, and you are going through with your blade to kill all sorts of different people. As you were watching right now, or if you're listening, I can explain. You're seeing basically go to black and white here as you go through. Every time you go into a new area and you start playing, if you fail, he'll go, no, that one it worked. Because the idea is that he's running through it in his head before he goes off and does it, right? And he can you time rewind powers, and you can see into the future based on the drugs you're on. You see the blood, you see the stuff getting cut down. This is a basic level. As you progress, right, like it's a one hit kill for you, one hit kill for your enemies. People will shoot at you. You can slow down time and then use your samurai blade and knock the bullets back at them to kill them. You have this dodge roll that you were seeing as you go through lasers here. Boom, you get to go through stuff that way. Up here in the top left, you see the left trigger, which is the little bar. That's the amount of time you can slow down. You can. It's 2D obviously and side scrolling, but it's got a Hotline Miami feel to it, right? Of like you can pick up items that you'll hold in your other. It says B on this screen for me. It's A on Switch, where I'll be able to run through and fight guys, but then throw something at another guy. Exactly. They have a lot of like statue heads and stuff like that in there and stuff. Yeah. I played it the entire way out to New York. So 4.5 hours or whatever. And that got me to, I think, the penultimate level, right? We were talking before.
Right.
I have room for one more tape in there or whatever.
This is a Switch game?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
How long did it take you, Barrett?
I don't know. I remember I played it almost in one sitting on like Saturday when we were party sitting. And so time was like a thing of an imagination when I was playing this game. So I was really digging it.
You loved it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I loved it, and it's definitely like up there for games I've played so far this year. I love the story in it and like the way they explain like the whole like. Obviously, with these types of games, like when you die and you go back, like you have games like that with Super Meat Boy and Celeste and stuff of like, oh, you have to go back. But they actually work that into the story and what's happening to your character.
Yeah, this is, remember when they showed it during the Nindies Direct presentation, it was, hey, yeah, the gameplay's cool, but then there's this also thing where you're talking to a therapist and making word choices. So as you start playing, you get pretty quickly understand that there's more happening than you're just a regular hitman, and how does that all play into it? And then you go home and you start developing relationships with people outside of your house, which then obviously get in. So they're trying to tell a real like narrative here.
Yeah.
And like they do a really cool stuff. Again, you're rewinding time based on the drugs you're on. They do there's a really, really, really cool scene where, this is a little bit of spoilers, but it's not like the story is like that, but like for me, it was, you've seen this other guy, he eventually captures you and puts you on a chair, right? And he keeps killing you. But then you keep rewinding time to beforehand, and you start using the things he was saying, like, you know, when he reveals that he has a date or he's late for. So then you say that before he says it, and he's like, wait, how do you, whatever, bam, shoots you, and like you start getting more and more tidbits to piece it together before he figures out what's going on, and like you're like, this is a cool drug and it's a cool idea and it's a cool story element for why you can rewind time.
How does that work though? Like, is it choice based of like you need to remember the things that they said?
No, you'll see the dialogue options are all there, and like you can.
They're pretty easy. Like,
if you keep going, yes, you're not going to move the plot along, but you see the new option pop up, like what about your date, or what about this guy you just mentioned, and you select that, and the guy's like, wait, what the fuck, and then it gives you more information to say the next time, and the next time, and the next time, to then finally get into the boss fight you need to move on.
Right. Yeah. The gameplay is super fun. Like the story they're presenting here, like I could see this being a really cool like 2019 neo-noir like type of movie. Like what they're presenting. I don't want to say too much because I think it's a type of story you should kind of experience firsthand. But yeah, super into it. And this was something like I did not know anything about the game before playing it, so it was really cool to go in fresh, and because I don't really remember the Nindies event, so I was like, oh yeah, I kind of remember this game.
Yeah.
But yeah, did not expect to be as into it as I was.
Yeah.
Did you play Messenger and Celeste?
I did not play Messenger. Celeste is a fantastic game that I love.
How do you think it compares?
I don't like to Celeste. Celeste's a hard one because that one is so personal to me and like what that story is. And I think the kind of the challenging part of Celeste is also like what makes it so great. I think there are definitely some levels in here that are laid out challenge like in a challenging way.
Yeah, but they're not crushing like Celeste.
No, they're not super crushing, so I don't think it has that appeal of being like super challenging or anything. There's definitely like a couple.
There's yes, if I can cut you off.
Yeah.
There was like one. There's a couple. What they do. Like, because again, like it's out April 18th. That's when the review embargo for Scored Embargo is post. We're allowed to talk, but there's like a little bit we can't go past in terms of showing anything. I think from the one knock I had when we were talking about it, when you're like, oh, I loved it. I was like, oh, I really liked it, but I think I had really high expectations coming off the Indie Direct. Still love it. Still think it's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
It's just early on, I feel like you get everything. Like you had, like it's not like you're going like you're talking about Messenger, where Messenger kept changing, right? And I feel like a lot of the games we play, here's a new ability, 30 minutes in, 15 minutes, or hours later, that gives you something new to do. Whereas this one, you pretty much have it all down from the beginning. So where it starts getting interesting gameplay wise and challenging is, cool, here's a room of 4 different guys, and one of them's just a brawler, one of them has a one-shot gun, the other has a shotgun that you can't reflect back because it's too many pellets, and the other guy is one of the other swordsmen where you can hit his blade, that'll stun him, but you have to then get back to kill him. And it's like, now it's this game of, who am I waiting for to get close to hit with the door like Hotline Miami to then roll in to kill that guy to do this, and like
that's cool.
Yeah, you have to start like actually.
It is very.
Management.
It does remind me a little bit of Celeste in that sense as well. Where like Celeste, you pretty much until the end game, you pretty much have everything in your arsenal for the entire game.
Every chapter gives you a new ability.
Well, every chapter has like a different like thing in the level design that you have to go around with, but like the abilities in Celeste were really just jump and dash.
Right, and most of the levels in Celeste had only one set path to get through. You had to jump in this particular pattern, and it was about nailing the pattern and not like choosing your path, right?
But yeah, but like the thing that it reminded me of was like, yeah, you get all your abilities pretty early on, and then it's up to you to kind of, when you're presented with the layout of a new level of like, okay, how do I use just the 2 things that I have to kind of figure this out and navigate throughout?
Yeah,
that's what
That's really enticing me. That sounds awesome, because probably my only real critique of Celeste is I feel that the later levels are way more fun than the early levels because you have all the abilities, and going back after to do the B-sides isn't as fun because like I want my double jump. I want my like things that I'm used to having, and when you don't have them, it kind of it feels a little bit empty. So I like this idea that you just kind of have everything, and it's less about like the enhancing your abilities and more about using the room and the skills.
What's interesting about it is I feel too, for me with the 4.5 hours just playing straight, I got into a rut of, oh, this is how I do it, and I run through blah blah blah. I was trying to beat it in between shows today, so that I would just be done with it and have like, oh, I did beat it, blah blah. I didn't make it through just because it's been a busy day. And but what I noticed is jumping in. You know how you come back to a game after a while, like, wait, what the fuck, blah blah. I started playing it different in way more dodge rolling than I was before. In dodge rolling, I was like, oh, this is actually easier than it was the way I was doing it before, and it's maybe even more fun now because I am rolling through people's legs when they're shooting. I thought when I was playing before, I was very much like run into the room, freeze, and then, whereas this, it is like door open, roll, get behind the other guy. Oh fuck,
Yeah.
stab him. You know what I mean? Like keep
Yeah,
moving
because
that
it
way.
wasn't until like halfway through the game is when I started using a lot of the slowdown time. Like
Yeah,
I was
and that was the other
usually-
thing too. Is the game
Yeah.
like in the? I guess that I mean, it's an interesting as we talk about it. Like you have all the stuff, but then the levels make you use it in different fashion.
Right.
And that was like, and they do a good job of like. You think you got it down a shotgun guy. Okay, you think that now there's a turret. Now there's this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for people to get their hands on this and for more people to kind of beat it because I have a lot of questions about.
Save all your spoiler stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in the end where I have questions about, and I can't wait to not be one of the few people who've gone through because it's so cool, and I need people to talk about it with.
Yeah,
so.
really stunning visually, as we've said from the beginning. The gameplay is fun.
Yeah.
I think when you and I talked about it in New York, I think I was more like, yeah, it was fun, but I use all stuff and blah. And then today playing it, I was like, man, I got to get back to this. Like it
That's cool. 'Cause,
reawakened it.
I was a little bummed out because I was really looking forward to this game, and when we were flying to New York, I was planning on playing it the whole way as well.
Yeah.
But then I was like, oh, Smash Brothers, gotta get
Gotta
it.
get
And
those
update
spirits.
for everyone: you can all hold your applause, but I do in fact have all 1,303.
Yeah.
he deserves
I did it.
That's an impressive
finally.
feat.
Yeah, it's impressive. Was it worth it?
No.
No.
What did it cost
No.
you?
It cost me everything, Greg. Everything. Yeah, no. So instead, I wasted my time doing that. But then afterwards, I was like, oh, Greg, like, how is it? And you didn't seem super up on it.
We were coming off the plane, yeah, and I think it was just the tiredness of being on a plane for a while mixed with the fact of just like trying to juggle your ideas being cramped into a thing and playing it or whatever. Yeah, I think I had such high expectations coming into it from what we saw. I was like, oh man, did it meet him? And then taking time off and coming back to it, I'm like, oh no, it did. Like this is really well done. And I really do like it. I think it is like you're talking about an adult Switch game, right? Like of like here is a game that is not like I think it's wrestling with issues in a good. You're talking about the story, and there is so much stuff with this therapist you're talking to, and how much do you want to share? And like we're talking about the dialogue choices. That's in everything. You know how in like. Games, you sit there and you wait for the dialogue to pop up, but you can hit the button to make it all pop up. If you hit the button here, it's not you skipping the dialogue for the most part. It's you choosing the option of just like fucking stop talking to me, which actually changes what they do or how they share or what they say to you.
Yeah.
So like
That's
there is
really
a thing
cool.
in there. Yeah. So it's
I don't
actually
think
it's a
I've ever
game
seen that.
it's a game that's actually really enticing you to sit there and let it all pop up. It's doing something that I don't feel, and this is not obviously Celeste, but doing something I think a lot of side-scrolling platformers, whatever you want to call them, don't do that much of like. No, we have really engaging gameplay, and we're trying to tell you a very specific story. Well, everybody tries to tell you a story, but like you're engaging, and you're going to change the way people want to talk to you or interact with you if you skip this. That's cool.
Yeah.
The game's really cool.
What if you die and go back? Do you have to go through the?
Then they give you shortcuts when you do that. When you have to do dialogue again, right? That was the thing.
That's
Yeah,
the only
there's
reason
like-
I would ever fast forward through a.
You've seen
a
it before?
storyline. I've seen it already.
Yeah, this
I
one,
wanna watch it
if
again.
memory serves, if you die and have to see a conversation again, it pops up pretty quick. No?
So it might pop up quicker. I just remember replaying like the first couple of levels again, I think the second guy you have to go after, like if you go through and like choose an option really quickly and then die and then have to go and do the level all over again. If you go to that guy again and let's say I did like the fuck you, like I just want to kill you right now.
Yeah.
You
Really?
don't get another
The guy
option.
at the balcony edge?
Yeah.
I could have sworn I did die in that level and come back and then he went faster.
He did go faster, but I didn't even get a choice to say anything else to him.
Oh, right, yeah, because you're
Yeah.
locked into what you said.
Right.
Yeah, I think that plays to what he's saying. Of like, he just doesn't want to like.
Yeah.
Like if you've made your choice and you die and you come back to it, yeah, it's gonna throw you back to where you were rather than make you do it again. Okay,
Right.
cool. We're on the same page.
Last thing I'll say, I decided to become an adult this morning and applied for a credit card at my bank. And
for you.
Thank you.
Look at him growing up before our eyes, guys.
And last time I was at my bank, I was at IGN, and so I was updating information. The guy who was helping me was like, "Oh, did you really work at IGN?" I was like, "Yeah." And I'm with Kind of Funny now. I pimped out my shirt, and he was asking me like, "Oh, what are the games that like I have a Switch? Like, what should I play?" And I was like, "All right, Ape Out." And then before I left, I was like, "There's a game coming out in a week, Katana Zero." I wrote down for it.
Nice.
Wrote that down for him.
Yeah,
so.
because you love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I like it. I think.
What was the other one? Ape
Ape Out.
Ape Out.
Oh yeah, Ape
Ape Out.
Out's a good
Yeah,
one. Yeah,
that's a good one.
You like these monkey games. You'll like this Ape Out.
I love a good monkey game.
You'll like
Hey,
this
actually,
one.
Kev, can you pull up Ape Out?
I'm on it,
Yeah,
I'm
I
on
want to
it.
show him because like Ape Out's a very special game, very unique, and it uses jazz music and kind of just like fun
you turn up the
procedurally
music for this
generated
one?
gameplay.
If you don't know Ape Out, ladies and gentlemen, play Ape Out.
Oh, that's cool.
So like as you kill them, it's making the music actually play. Like you're making the jazz cymbals pop as you kill these guys.
Audio design by Matt Bach.
Fantastic.
formerly of Harmonix. Actually, I think he's still there.
So
Oh wow, where has this been?
It's a Devolver game, just like Katana Zero.
It just came
As
out
they
a
continue
couple
to
weeks
make
ago.
fucked up shit for you, because that's what Devolver does.
and also coming this week, Cuphead.
That's for
Which
Switch.
I know
It
we've been
does
talking
for
about a lot,
Switch.
but
Mm-hmm.
Cuphead on Switch.
Yeah.
Cuphead
Cuphead on
Great.
Switch.
Yeah.
And that's another thing I can't get away from. I want to play Katana Zero, but I'm like, gotta get my scores up though. Gotta
You
go
should
back
bust
to
out Katana
Cuphead.
Zero, right? It's not that
Just
long.
do it.
Like you said, 4.5 hours, 5 hours.
I want to. It's
Yeah.
just, you know.
Just let me be the one who beat Cuphead 3 times.
3 times.
and
Barrett has
just
to
walk
keep
away.
one-upping me.
Yeah.
Listen, Barrett asked somebody who also, Tim has done this too, I feel your pain, because he deliberately went into Amplitude and looked at all my high scores and said,
and beat them.
it's my mission to take Andrea down.
Yeah.
And
So-
I did.
Yeah, we
Hard.
both beat it
He
twice.
did, yeah.
Our second time on Switch, but then I also had to save on PC, so I went through my PC and beat him there. So there you go. Fuck you, Tim.
Someday,
Are you
someday
familiar
I'll get
with
my
Cuphead?
scores back up.
Which one?
The game Cuphead?
No.
Kevin,
I'm on it.
bring up some Cuphead.
This is us sell Devin
It's
Sawa
the
Switch
sell.
games.
Well, no, because that's the thing. So Cuphead's coming to Switch, and I really want to push it as much as possible because I want people to buy it because I want more resources being put towards this
Cuphead.
game. It's
beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's hand animated, and the idea is it's like a 30s game, like a Felix the Cat looking. That's just a song.
Actually, yeah, you picked the one that's just the soundtrack.
But it's in the style of these old animations.
Just pick that IGN
Oh, that's
video.
cool. And it's the Switch too? Oh, that's great.
It's pretty much just boss
Yeah.
fights, and it's brutally hard, super
no,
challenging,
I don't
and
want
you
it.
just do it over and over.
That's where they
again.
lost you. Oh, no.
They do have
There's a simple mode,
normal
though.
mode,
Yeah.
but
What
it's
is-
even the normal mode is really challenging.
Idiot mode.
Yeah, it's
That looks pretty hard.
It's super cool though, and it's super fun, and it is one of the
That's
best
cool to look at.
Really good game.
Yeah, it's really really cool to look at. If you don't want to play it, just watch YouTube videos because it's worth
And
watching.
the music is really well done.
Yeah, the whole package is just very very tight.
Hello, congratulations, by the way.
The newlywed Demetrius Newell.
Gifted Dim 63. All right. So this is what I screwed up, and now I fill this out to fix it. Is that what I do? Okay. This is Devin. Devin,
Hey, how
this
you
is
doing, man?
Gifted
It was
Dim.
a pleasure to meet you.
All right. So I performed the ceremony under religious domination of any, which I didn't, but now I will write in this one: American Marriage Ministry. You can keep going with the show.
I remember when I filled that sheet out, they
Wait, did you
very
get married?
specifically were like, you have
Okay.
to
Congratulations.
put it in the boxes. You
Congratulations.
can't like scribble over. They got very mad.
Did this officially make it official?
I hope so.
Okay.
Yeah.
It did the first time.
And then make your marriage certificate into a PDF because you're gonna have to give it to a lot of people.
Exactly, especially in the military too, because I got to pass it in and get ID cards for her and all this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
other
thank
stuff.
you for your
Thank
service.
you, appreciate that.
Yeah, really cool stuff. Falcon Age, Andrea.
Yeah,
That's a video game that you've been
Falcon
playing.
Age. So this is a game from Outer Loop Games. Full disclosure that my cats are in the game. So Eka had asked me, one of the developers on the game, he's like, do you want to get a photo of your pet in the game? And I was like, yes, I do. So if you can find them, they're hidden somewhere in the game. But I tried it on PSVR. Because this is a game that was built for virtual reality, but of course you can play it just on your PS4 as well. And you play this young girl who's in prison, and in her cell there's a window, and at the very beginning of the game there's a bird's nest, and there's a falcon there, and there's a little baby falcon, and the mama bird gets killed by this robot like guard. And then you have to, the little baby bird falls into your cell, and you essentially like become friends with it. You have to take care of it, and you feed it.
It's like Once Upon a Forest.
I never played that.
No, it's a movie.
Oh, movie? Okay. I
classic.
don't know what you're talking about.
It's fantastic.
And so the idea is that you have to break out of your prison cell, and that you want to take the bird with you. And there's no humans in this prison. It's just all robots, like automated guards. And I'm not far enough along in this, and it's a short game, but I'm not far enough along in the story to know kind of like what happens. But essentially, you're trying to like overthrow these robot overlords. Yes. So this is the bird. That's the girl that you play as. And you can feed your bird. You can fist bump your bird. There's a special hat that you can wear that makes it appear as the baby bird all the time. So there's a lot of different costume pieces that you can get for your bird, which is kind of fun. You can send your bird out to hunt stuff, and then it'll bring back, bring back little chunks of meat for you. You can cook treats for it. But it's a cute little story. I am not like super clear on like what the overall narrative is of the game, mostly because I'm just obsessed with how cute the bird is.
That's what made Falcon Age spring to prominence, right? Was that when Eka started putting out the gifs of the bird and the bird dancing on your arm and the fist bumping, it was the bird that stole the show, and why that was, I think people started sharing and gifting so much of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I'm really glad that they added a non-combat mode, because when they were showing the game at a lot of trade shows, they got feedback from parents with kids who were like, "Oh, my kid wants to play this game, but we don't want to have any combat in it." So they made this exploration mode where you can just kind of head out with your bird and you know,
Bird it up.
Do everything, where combat is optional. Yeah.
Exactly.
Wing it.
Yeah. Just wing it. Good job, Tim. Good
Yeah,
job.
exactly.
Thank you. Thank you.
Falcon Age, sorry I'm joining late. Had to finish this
that's
marriage
okay.
I screwed up or whatever.
Just marrying people over here.
How many are you going to do that
Just
to?
screwed. I filled out the same way I filled out everybody else's application, and they're all married. And then San Francisco wants to bust my balls on a Thursday.
Wait, do you have some sort of marriage license?
Yeah.
You do.
Just, it's on the internet. You can bloop, and there you go. You're a minister. Great, thanks. And
Wow.
apparently now I have to put in a denomination, which is not true, but whatever. I don't want to argue. I wasn't there. I would have given that city clerk a piece of my mind. I digress. Falcon Age. For disclosure, Portillo's in the game too, on the wall over there as a pet, but also that Pop Agenda, they represented it for brand management and PR stuff. I've talked about Falcon Age on the show before. It's the one where I went at DICE and played it and did it in VR and then a little bit in handheld, or not handheld, holding a controller, playing on a TV mode, and was really into it when I played it. Stick with me. We're about to go on a ride. Falcon Age dropped, right? These codes for us dropped, and I was like, okay, great. It was when we were in New York I got mine. So coming back, Jen hadn't been home for 2 weeks or whatever. So I had played it in VR and really dug it in VR, but then had gotten the taste of playing it on a TV with the controller at the end of my demo. So I was like, I know you can play it both ways, and I already kind of know the experience in VR. I'm just gonna play it on the TV so that I can actually see Jen and talk to her now that she's home, not be lost in a world like, good to see you again, babe. Just be gone and like sitting there with my move wands doing all this stuff. I played that first night in non-VR, so I played it on the TV, and I was crestfallen. Like I was like, oh my God, like I'm just not having a good time. I started taking notes, right, of like my problems with it. Of just like, I was like, it's not a huge map, but it's the environment is big, right? Like you're in these, canals, I guess. So it's more like Grand Canyon-y stuff. Like you're all over there. And I remember saying in my notes here, right, of just like, I didn't feel like I was being rewarded for exploring because I was like moving around.
The pathing is very much designed for virtual reality control schemes.
Yep.
Steimer was talking about this too on our episode of What's Good, is that she's playing it on PS4 and I'm playing it in PSVR. And have you played a virtual reality game before? So the way that the controls work in order to prevent motion sickness while you're in the headset is that it's like a teleporting system. Some games do have like fluid motion, but I prefer the teleporting. So you're kind of moving forward like chunks at a time instead of just moving like you normally would in a game to prevent yourself from getting nauseous.
Right.
And because of that, it's clear that when you're not in the VR headset, they didn't quite connect or change the locomotion, and so the pathing in the regular world feels very barren.
And that was the thing of like, I was like, you go up walkways and like staircases without stairs, but walkways. And there'd be time coming down where I felt like I was perfectly straight, but I guess I was a little bit off, and you'd stop. And it'd be like this awkward thing of like, oh crap, move. And then go down. And it's like, it was just little shit that you got to experience. And then like moving my head up and down felt not janky, but like it was like a little more rigid than it feels like to move your head in a game with sticks.
Is that the game, or is it they've not mastered the virtual reality?
No, it's the opposite, where they master the VR. This is me playing the game, and what Andrea's saying of this is clearly a game that is, they can go both ways, obviously, but it was made
designed
for VR.
for virtual reality.
So like it's the same thing too of like Firewatch. Remember how there was no HUD? It was like you had to bring, or no mini map. You brought up your map to look at, right? Like your piece of paper. I'm playing on the controller, and that's how they do Falcon Age 2, where you have to bring out your map. And it was this weird thing of like bringing it out, okay, then moving and be like, wait, where was I bringing it back up? And I'm like, I don't feel empowered. This isn't good. There's no fast travel, so like you're just running, and I was like, blah blah blah. The next day, I find, we were here actually, and I put it on and I picked up the sticks, and it was night and day of just like, oh right, this is the way to play this game. I still think like my problem when I was going to bed after playing it on TV was like, this just feels like a basic game, and I like, you know what I mean? Like obviously we know Eka, and I know how much we worked on the game, and I was like, it feels not. It's something. The head movement, the running into the walls, the fact that why isn't there fast travel? playing it in VR, it was like, okay, this is where it was meant to be. This is where the problems I'm having with it playing on a TV I'm not having here. No fast travel doesn't matter when you're teleporting with the move wand. When I'm pointing and I'm going boo, boo, boo. Suddenly it wasn't a chore I felt to navigate the world. When my whole view is the world, obviously, and I turn my head any way I want to, holding a map in one hand and glancing at it and then walking, and if I have to, looking at it again, is way easier than it is with a controller having it in my face and I'm trying to walk around, right? Like, I commend them for having a non-VR mode in there for the people who don't have VR.
Like, that's a question I have is, do you think that it's a detriment to it that it has a mode that it sounds like isn't good compared to the core game, which is VR? I
don't think it's a detriment. That's my thing. Is you say, is it a detriment? No, because the VR game is still the VR game, and it is good. It is fun to play, right? You feel it's more interesting to run around, play, explore. Like, even using the bird, I felt was just a better experience that way. Because to Andrea's point, like, there's, you can send it up to attack. There's satchels that are like hanging from walls that are like the hidden things you send the bird up to go get and do, and you feel more into it. It's another way to experience. I think it's the lesser way. Is
there anything it does better than the VR mode?
No, probably not. Yeah.
But so then that's things like, then I feel like that is a detriment where it's like.
Well, detriment means it's taking away from the VR mode. It's not taking away from the VR mode, right?
But it's taking away from the overall product, I would imagine.
Sure, okay, sure. That's fair that people are buying the game playing it.
I think that there's certainly room for improvement in the PS4 version of the game. I absolutely understand why they put it out. If anything, it's like maybe like a sales piece to get PSVR and say, do you really want to experience this game in its, in its best form? Try it in PlayStation VR, but I was hoping that it was going to be, a little bit more polished for the PS4 version, but I think it's also important to remember this is not a $60 game. It's $19.99. It's a very small indie team. So I think it's important to also like manage expectations for what you're expecting from this game.
Mm-hmm.
But that said, it needs more polish for sure. Absolutely.
If it was just like, it's a $20 game, it's a VR game. That's what it is. That's where it's best.
And that's the thing is, I don't know how much. I remember when I found out it wasn't just VR. It was like, oh, I didn't know that, and I don't know if that is a huge selling point. And to your point, I don't think it takes away from the game, the VR version of the game. But I do understand what you're saying of that people are gonna IGN gave it an 8, right? And I've seen 7s and 7.5s going around. Somebody's gonna buy it. Maybe and not think that, oh, this was reviewed as a VR game, right? And play it as the PlayStation. Like, what do people? Why? I'm not in this experience. I'm not feeling it the same way. I can see that happening. Yeah. But even in VR, like I mean, basic. It's a weird thing to say, right? Even in VR, it's okay. This is fun and I'm enjoying it, and it was cool. it's an easy platinum, which I of course am all about. Like I got that. You know what I mean? Had a great time. But like. Yeah, it didn't blow my hair back. I had fun in it and I enjoyed it and I liked the ride. But like my big thing, I know when we've talked about Tim in past year, like with reviews, right? And how do we handle that and what do we do? And people have been like, well, like money means so much to us in terms of how much. Of course, this game was sent to us by Papa Agenda and Falcon Age team, right? Like for me personally, my endorsement of it would be like I would wait for it to come down in price, even at $20. I think you could wait for a sale and get it that way and have that experience from it. It's a quality experience. It was fun, but yeah, it was a night for me with like a little bit of cleanup later.
A night for platinum?
Yeah, a night with cleanup. Like so, it would have been probably a night and then another 2 hours, 3 hours, maybe the next night or whatever. But it's beautiful. It's pretty. I liked it. I think it does a lot of cool things with VR in terms of pointing and going.
And like I vividly remember this moment where I sat back on my couch and just kind of tipped my head all the way back with the headset on and just like watched the bird just fly around up in the sky, and it just really reminds you that this is like what VR can do, what the future and the promise of virtual reality. So I would encourage people who do have a PSVR headset that this game is a good showpiece for that, and it's a much better game in VR than not.
Yeah, for me, and that was what I was trying to think about, because obviously these conversations about reviews and how we frame our coverage of games we've completed and want to talk about. For me, it was the thing. I think I would wait for it to come down in price. But again, it's the technical aspect of it. Of like, it's a cool VR game. I do like it. I like, we filmed when Eka came through for GDC. We did a conversation about why he and his team have made so many PlayStation VR games and talked about it that way. That's the way it'll be on the PlayStation VR show going forward. I don't think it would be on my short list of PlayStation VR titles that I would be like, you got a PlayStation VR? pick this up. Not taking anything away from it. It's, again, a good game. I'd be in the 7s if I was reviewing it, you know, this, that, or the other. But yeah, that's where I came down with it. I was like, all right, cool. That was a cool experience, but I feel like we've gotten so far past that. And that's what I need to go back and reread a lot of the reviews, because I know some people were talking about really connecting with the story and, you know, the colonizers and all this stuff. I felt like I don't feel like I missed anything, and it's like that thing of like I didn't get that. Especially, I'll be interested when you beat it, of like some of the ways they introduce some of the characters at the end and what they do. It's just like, okay, cool. Like there's a lot of interesting ideas, and again, yeah, the bird is really cool to have and send out to do stuff. I'm looking forward to. I hope they do come back to it. I hope they do more with it, whether it's a Falcon Age 2 or some kind of DLC that takes all the feedback in, because there's really something cool there. The bird is really engaging. Giving all the different outfits and stuff are as engaging, but it's also this thing where it's engaging in the way of like, oh cool, I made you the baby bird, and then it's like, there's so many costumes and little toys for it to play with and stuff that I was just like,
put a bow tie on it.
Sure, yeah, but it's like you have all these recipes to make and all these different things that I feel like in a way there's a lot of fat on it. Where there's like, okay, cool, you can make all these different treats that'll give you plus charisma or this, that, or the other. And it's like,
what do you use those for?
Exactly. I used it to get a better deal on the dragon helm I bought at the very end just to get the trophy. Like the gameplay itself was never, you need to be doing this, or here's how you're gonna balance it. Like I wasn't even making treats most of the time because I didn't feel like I needed to heal the bird up beyond its halfway point and stuff. It's a cool game. It's a good game. It's somewhere in the 7s of, this is what it is, and it's something to do.
And it's an easy platinum. I want to talk about more easy platinums. But first, I want to let you know about our sponsors. Now, Greg, back to you real quick.
I just put it down as what? Shitty game for easy platinum?
I have it down. My note is Greg's shitty platinum game.
Right. So it was super weekend mode. I did the thing and bought.
But let me take a step back here. Devin, are you familiar with what platinuming a game means?
No.
So in PlayStation games, there's trophies. All right, it's achievements on Xbox.
I'm familiar.
Okay, yeah. So you go through platinuming is you get all of the trophies in the game, right?
I've never done that.
Neither
you haven't lived.
Most people haven't.
I've only gotten one, so don't worry about it.
What was it in?
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh, well deserved.
My only platinum.
That's a good one. But Greg is obsessed with this.
Yes. You got lots of platinums?
I do have lots of platinums.
It's a problem. It's a big problem.
How many do you have?
So
I'm
much
at
so.
82 right now.
Oh, 82
platinums.
Yeah. That's nothing. Mark Freeman watches the show. He's like, what, 146?
I thought somebody
We have
wrote
the
in
Platinum
and it has
Prince
like
Josh Grab out
180
there.
Josh
something.
Grab killing it too, huh?
Didn't somebody write in
Recently, yeah, they had
to your and
180.
Gary's show with like over 180?
Oh, sure. I don't know.
That's
But I
fine.
mean, like, Mark Freeman's the
So
one
these
who's
people
like,
are crazy. But the thing is, most of the time, people that are into this are like, I'm going to do it for the games that I love.
Right.
And then there's some people that are a little more dedicated. They're like, I'll do the games I love, but I'll also do the games that are kind
you
of
love.
easy, that like I'm working on or whatever.
I'm gonna get the platinum in your game.
Greg's one of the worst type of people where there are many different developers out there that make games that are so shitty and so bad, but their sole purpose is they're an easy platinum, and they prey on the dollars of people like Greg Miller. Greg, tell me about your latest shitty platinum game.
This is Super Weekend Mode, made or at least published by, because I'm looking at it's Ratalakia Games. You ever heard of these guys? You have, because it's Super Destroy O Not, right? Another DX, that other crappy platinum one I had done. There's one other one I can't see at a glance, but like I've played their games. Jack and Jill DX. Remember that?
Can we see
Jack
this game,
and
Kevin? Is
Jill
that possible?
DX.
Right, yeah.
Was
hold
it
on.
Super Weekend?
Super Weekend Mode.
Super Weekend mode, okay.
Here's your platinum walkthrough. It takes 5 minutes.
Whoa.
So yeah, this is the game. If you're not looking at it on the screen right now, imagine like an arcade setup in terms of the vertical screen here. Hearts are falling, and then you are independently controlling two little ships / bumpers that you need to shoot the boss with and collect hearts with. If a heart touches the ground, or eventually it gets a little bit harder here, don't worry, Tim. You get hit by some of the skulls falling or the dust bunnies, then
not the dust bunnies.
you lose a life and you have to do it. But as
Trophy earned. There you go.
as Ray Navarez pointed
popping,
out,
dude.
as he put out on his Twitter the other day, it took him less than 5 minutes to do this, like 4:50.
I saw you do this
5
yesterday.
minutes?
And you were doing it at our desks in the back. And like, this is very hard to explain to people that don't know our setup, which is very few people, but we have these little capture devices for when we do party modes. And I saw you playing off of that, but I was so confused. I thought you were playing Tetris 99 on the Switch.
Sure.
Because I was like, what's going on?
That's a really
that
good
looks
game.
insane. And I just kept looking over at you. Did not
see
realize
little
until
Tetris?
right now you were playing this piece of shit.
Yeah, that's right. It was.
Do you feel good about yourself?
I feel great about it. And the best
Yeah?
part is I busted out the Vita last night, started charging it up because it's one of those cross-buy games. They know what they're doing.
How much was it?
$5. Actually, with
$5.
PlayStation Plus, it was $3.99.
for that game right there.
Yeah.
$3.99.
So they're just going after giving you the platinum.
Hell yeah, 2 platinums
That's
for
all they're
$4.
doing. They know,
You got
man.
it. $2 a platinum, I'm in.
Wow.
And that's the
Wow
thing.
is right.
It's the thing. Obviously, I've known about Retaliate games that I can never say.
So
'cause
your
they did-
platinum's a legit platinum, right?
Correct.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I have the Horizon one. I have the. I'm working on my Division
Greg has
one.
many legit platinums.
But
He
I
puts
don't-
the time.
I
He's
love
got
that.
the Destiny 2 platinum, and I never put that time in.
There you go,
I was like,
see?
I ain't messing with that Warlock chump. Not happening.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, but yeah, it's they just know what they're doing, and like you look at their
They know what
website,
they're
right?
doing.
Like here's all their games, and they're showing you that they're PlayStation and Vita. Like you know what I mean? It's PS4 and Vita, which means they're cross-buy. And I'll
Which
get 'em
means
both.
that if you have both a
Yep.
PlayStation 4 and a Vita, you can get 2 platinums if you do it twice.
And the best news
So
is
they
too-
really know what
so,
they're
and
doing.
the other
They're
thing about it
milking
that
this kid.
we got to give them credit for, on top of the fact they're doing this, they're putting out games that have easy platinums, that they're putting out cross-buy games that have easy platinums. They also put them out in Europe as well. And as you know, Tim, you can put out a game that has a shared trophy list so that if I played it in any region, I would get all the trophies. They're smart enough that they do it where they've forced PlayStation to give them another trophy list. So if I wanted to, and you're goddamn right I'm going to at some point, I can go in on my Game Over Greggy UK account, buy these games, download them to my PlayStation 4, then log out, log back in as my regular Game Over Greggy account, play them again for 5 minutes, get all the trophies again. I'm looking at the possibility here, ladies and gentlemen, of 3 platinums in Super Weekend mode. Are you kidding me right now?
Wow.
What a time to be alive.
3,
You know what I mean?
not 4.
Well, no, I don't want to. Like, the Vita works differently in terms of if I'm going to bop in and do that. You know, come on, don't be crazy.
Oh, okay.
Don't be-
That would be ridiculous.
Don't be crazy, Tim.
That would
The
be
Vita
ridiculous.
doesn't allow multiple logins, so I'd have to hard wipe the Vita and go in, log in his Game Over Greggy, download it, and then go back. And it just wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't work. Unless I'm missing something, because if I'm missing something, let me know. Oh, wait. No, Vita TV works the same way. Yeah. Well, I don't think I'm missing anything, but kindafunny.com/you're wrong. We won't look at right now.
Andrew, please tell me. Save me from this nonsense. Dangerous driving. How's that?
It's a lot of fun, Tim. So it's an homage to the early Burnout games. Did you ever play the Burnout racing games?
Yep.
So the team that used to work on that, Criterion, has moved on within EA to focus on Need for Speed and other new IPs that they're working on for Electronic Arts. And some of the key members that worked on the Burnout series left to form a very small company called Three Fields Entertainment. And they have now published Dangerous Driving. They've published a couple other games as well. Dangerous Golf. They had the Danger Zone, which is the crash mode previously from Burnout. And so this is really an homage to arcade racing games from the 80s and 90s. And I always want to lead with that because I kind of have gotten into some back and forth with some folks about the style and feel of this game. This is not designed to be like the next big thing in the Burnout franchise, right? This is not Burnout Paradise. This is primarily focusing on a single player mode. They're adding a 6-player online multiplayer mode in like a month or so, or maybe I'm getting that timing wrong. They did say post-launch. The game came out this week. It's $26.99 and it's a ton of fun. It's the road rage mode is like the takedown mode that I loved so much, where you crash in and you try to make other cars crash. When you do crash a wreck, the wreck stays persistent on the course. So if you're in the first lap and you wreck a bunch of people, you have to like dodge their wrecks in subsequent laps, which I thought was a really nice touch. They have added Spotify Premium integration. So if you have a Spotify Premium account, you can link it and then you can just listen to your music while you're racing. That's
great.
And then they've created some custom playlists to go with
That's
it.
really cool.
Which I thought was a really fun feature.
So, custom playlists using Spotify or
Correct.
use? Whoa.
Yeah.
That seems like a weird legal loophole.
Sort of, but not really, because by making it a Spotify Premium integration, you have to pay for access, and all of the music licenses are then run through Spotify, and that's how they were able to afford it. Because
So, are artists still? If you listen to the song in the game, then artists would be getting paid for this.
because it's technically
Spotify.
streaming through Spotify.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, because they're a really small team. 7 people made this game, and so they didn't have the funds to put in all the bells and whistles that you would get in a normal Burnout game, and including doing an original soundtrack. And so they said, how are we going to get around this? We have to make a lot of sacrifices in the feature set, because they're using this to hopefully build towards a bigger thing down the road. And so when I talked to Alex Ward about it, one of the creators of the game, he said that this was like the easiest thing for them. And I followed up with him afterwards and said, well, I don't have a Spotify premium account. I have a Google Play premium account. Like, are you guys going to add additional integrations? And he said, we're looking at it, we're having some discussions, but right now Spotify premium is the one integration. But we don't really see other games doing this. So
Yeah, no,
I imagine
that's-
that it'll be something that they do down the line for sure.
That's
But
very cool.
yeah, there's a bunch of different modes. There's like over 27 cars across like 4 different classes or 6 different classes. And all of the tracks are set in different national parks around the United States, which is kind of neat. And yeah, it's fun. It's a bunch of fun. If you love arcade racing from the 80s and 90s like I do, I think that you'll enjoy your time with Dangerous Driving.
What platforms is it on?
It's on Steam, PS4, and Xbox One, I believe. So let me double check, but pretty sure it's on everything.
Yeah, it's been
Not
awesome to see this start getting a lot of attention. You know what I mean? Because I remember they had reached out and it didn't work out, but they had reached out for the game showcase back, in December that they were looking into getting into it. And I was like, oh man, the game looks awesome, but I forget why it just didn't work out if they didn't have anything at the moment, but whatever. But yeah, I know Gary's super into this right now. I've seen a lot of people tweeting about it. A lot of people have just been ready for another Burnout.
Yeah.
So it's cool to see it come back. In
Yeah,
some
I mean,
way, shape, or form.
What makes me really excited about this is what they're going to do in the future, because I've been playing with it for several hours now, and while I'm really enjoying my time, there's clearly a lot missing. There's a lot of animations missing, the music is missing.
The Switch port's missing, sounds like.
The Switch, I mean, this would be perfect on Switch. I agree. A Switch port would be fantastic. I think that there's a lot of room for improvement, but what they have is still super fun. But I was talking to on DLC about this, and neither Jeff nor Christian really liked the game, and I kind of got into their face about it. I was like, well, this isn't like a AAA like $50 million game. Like, it's 7 people making a small indie title that, and they're building off of their experience from the past, from all of these racing games they used to do. And I hope that they sell a ton of it so that we can get like the true spiritual successor to Burnout.
Yeah, because Gary was talking about it, right? That, like, there's no native multiplayer, but they're talking about maybe one day, hopefully, being able to patch that in or do something with it.
No, they are. They've committed to
Okay.
it. Yeah, so they're working on a 6-person online multiplayer for racing and for road rage mode. So that's in the works right now. Currently, they just haven't given a date as to when they're going to patch that in. But that's coming. Yeah.
Cool.
Final game I want to hear about from you guys is Division. What's the update?
Tidal Basin.
Oh yeah, it's so good.
World Tier 5.
Yeah, man.
Devin, you playing
What's
the
your gear
Division?
score now?
Get on
No.
it. Get on it. Start playing the Division 2. What's your problem?
You got a platinum in that?
I am going to platinum that. Yeah, but this is a good game. This is a hard game. This is like a real platinum. This is a real
An
platinum.
adult ass game.
Yeah.
To give you the
Yeah.
breaking news, the conversation about Super Weekend Mode's Easy Platinum reminded me that I had emailed Radalika Games or whatever, looking to get a bunch of codes for their UK and North American library, and then I just hit them up on DM, and they're like, all about it. So I'm going to have all these ones soon. Don't worry about it, everybody.
gosh, you're so
Division 2, though,
ridiculous.
I haven't touched it since we did Tidal Basin. Of course, Andrea, a real gamer, unlike the coward Fran Mirabella III,
That's what
who
I've been
did in
saying for
fact wake up
years.
on Friday before I flew to New York. Woke up
true.
with me at 7 in the morning, 6. Well, woke up independently.
I
but
was
at
up
the
at
same time.
5:30 that day,
Woke up
yeah.
that morning, and then at 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. got on, and we ran Tidal Basin to open up World Tier 5.
Yep.
And it was glorious, Tim.
Yeah,
Let me
it's-
tell you.
What's really exciting about running these strongholds are the hope that I have for the incoming raids. So the Division 2 third-person shooter set in the Tom Clancy universe. It's about the aftermath of a widespread infection outbreak
Oh,
that kind of
cool.
crippled the United States government.
Yeah, bioterrorism.
And you play a Division agent from the Strategic Homeland Division, which is like a private underground operation that reports
line of
directly
defense.
to the president, and so you've been activated as a division agent to go in and try to restore the chaos that's happening in Washington
cool.
D.C. And so, like, one of your first missions is to like take back the White House. You storm the Capitol building. You rescue
Fight the Lincoln Memorial, yeah.
the Declaration of Independence from the National Archives. It was like there's a ton of really cool mission design
Who are you
in this
fighting?
game.
A bunch of different factions that are trying to take over, like right in the
So it's
end
like a
of
power grab,
exactly
right?
in the vacuum of the government being able to do as everything's fallen. Now there's all these warring factions to rule DC.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. But I really love Tidal Basin. What's my gear score? I still haven't played since that Friday morning because we went to
okay.
New York. We came back. I wanted to do Falcon Age. I'm playing something else now. It never stops the work of what you're going to play, what's going on. But
It's
I need
true.
to get in there before Raid get up.
Well, and they put out some new patch notes about an incoming patch on the subreddit, and Greg,
I know.
hold the presses.
Okay, ready?
They're adding red hair color, everybody.
Oh man,
I wonder why.
Big Red being
Maybe
added to the
because-
game.
Thank you, Julian. You heard
Andrea.
my cries.
Yeah, I know. If we could give a shout out to Julian, of course.
Yeah, he's the best.
He's what? What's his? He's director of the entire game.
He's
like?
the creative director. Yeah,
He's in
at
charge of the
Massive.
entire thing, and I don't know about you. I nickel and dime this motherfucker in DMs all the time. And I'm like, I swear I'm not gonna use you as tech support because I understand you run the entire thing. But this, like, I had a bug after Tidal Basin where we finished Tidal Basin. Everyone's in World Tier 5. I ran over to my workbench to upgrade it and start making stuff, and I couldn't upgrade it. And I was like, can you guys? You're like, yeah, we got all upgrade. And I'm like running through, and I'm like, I was trying to go to the airport. I was like, motherfucker. And sure enough, it's a known bug that's just like, fuck, they're fixing it. But it's like, I'm hitting him up and like, what about this? And what about, I'm like the annoying kid in class of like, hey, but I'm not asking my teacher. I'm going to the superintendent of all schools.
Yeah.
And being like, hey, the only way I can make it worse is if I was hitting up Yves Gamont and being like, hey, my workbench doesn't work. How is that possible or whatever?
Oh
Yeah,
man, I
but
love
it's
that.
fun. I'm at like
Do you take credit
496
for it?
right now. Wait, what?
For the hair?
Red hair?
I mean,
100%.
yeah. So when we were I went to several preview press events for the Division 2, and at the last one that Greg and I went to together, we got a glimpse of the character customization, and there was no red hair color. And then I went to DC and checked again, and it still wasn't there. And so I pulled Julian aside and was like, "Yo, but why can I make my hair green in the game but not red? Because red's an actual color of people's hair." So,
Okay,
like,
people have green hair.
right, but like not naturally.
Oh, sure, okay. Sure.
Right? Like, you can make your hair purple, blue, or green in the game, but you can't make your hair red in the game.
Winning
And I was
colors.
like, WTF,
I mean, maybe the
Julian.
dollar flu wiped out all redheads. You know what I mean? Maybe that's another part of their lore. I haven't read
Yeah.
the comics.
First ones to go.
They got the weak immune system.
And so he's like, we'll put it in the game. And I was like, thank you. And now they're putting it in the game. And they're also putting a bald hairstyle in. So if you prefer to have no hair on your agent, that is coming as well. But there's a full list of all the patch notes over, like I said, on the Division subreddit, if you guys want to check that out. And then the raid goes live. The
April
8-person
25th.
raid goes live on April 25th. Can't wait. It's going to be great.
Now that's gonna be another one though. You understand? Because of course, Greg Miller only has Greg Miller luck. Where, oh great, they're dropping World Tier 5 the day I go to New York. Oh great, they're dropping the raid the weekend I go home to Chicago for my stupid birthday. So like we got your April 25th, we might have to just call in sick to work, Andrea, and we gotta just sit there and do it. You know what I mean?
Adventures Day.
I know, that's the other thing. There's so much happening.
So
But,
we
like,
should just cancel the
technically-
Gamecast recording. We should just play the raid, is what you're saying.
Wait, hold on. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Wait, because it's a Thursday, right? And that's when we're seeing it at 6 o'clock, right? Yeah, yeah. It'll all work
Avengers?
out. Oh yeah. yeah.
Endgame,
Are you
man.
in that? No. Okay. Sorry.
No.
No, I asked him, is he in the movie?
I'm Hawkeye.
Oh, no, do
man,
people mistake you for Jeremy Renner?
Yes, they do.
Oh, my gosh.
Fantastic. So to close out the show, Devin.
Yeah.
We tweeted out on the Kind of Funny Vids account. We said we're recording Gamescast later today with Devin Sawa. Send in any video game related questions you have for him. Mandy writes in and says, "This is the content that I didn't know I needed."
Yeah.
And here we are.
Yeah.
It's happening. We got movies, beer, and I don't know if you know. Do you know Macaulay Culkin
Yeah.
personally?
Of course. Yeah.
Great.
That whole feud was fake.
Okay, good.
That was all fake.
Good.
I mean,
because the question is, if you're going to torture him, what horrible video game would you force him to play?
Oh God. I don't know. I don't know. Bubble Bobble from the
NES, yeah.
What's wrong with Bubble Bobble? It's a classic.
pretty.
It's a great song.
That's
Little
pretty annoying,
dinosaurs.
isn't it?
Yeah, like, imagine being having to play it over and over and over again.
It's really,
Yeah.
it's kind of just.
Did though.
We
You know what? Because I used to go to this arcade as a kid, and that game was always turned up so loud.
It is
No one would
very
ever.
loud and very repetitive.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That is good. Chris White says, if you could play any video game character in a motion picture, what character would it be and why?
God. I don't know, Mega Man, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Some live version of
That'd be cool.
Live action Mega Man, yeah.
Into it.
Mega Man.
And the last question for you here is, if Idle Hands was a was a video game, what genre of game would it be?
It would be a platform game, and you would be the hand, and you would be running from us.
Sure, as you guys
I like that.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Kind of Funny Games cast. Devin, thank you very much for joining
Thanks
us.
for having me.
Yeah,
Yeah, thanks
coming
not only
by.
for coming here, but going to cover a
Going
game
to
for Kind of
Montreal.
Funny.
That was bucket list check. That was so
Yeah,
much fun.
you did it.
I'm glad you thought of me, and I'm
course.
glad I went and did it. And that was a fun game, but it was just an amazing experience. And they treated me so nice, and you guys treated me so nice.
Good.
So
That was awesome.
It was awesome.
Stay tuned. You can find him on Kind of Funny's We Have Cool Friends debuting sometime in May.
After Game of Thrones.
in review, which is happening, which starts Monday with Andrea Ray.
Yes,
Very
and
excited about this.
Escape Plan comes out July 4th weekend, and Moose this fall. Both
Movies that you are in.
movie. The Escape Plan is Stallone and Batista, and that comes out.
You're in a movie with Batista?
Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing. Another bucket list.
Very
check,
cool.
but,
The other movie's in is Travolta.
50 cents in it, and then the one in the fall is
50 cents in it?
yeah, 50
What?
cents in it. Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's really cool. And then Travolta and I did a movie, a two-hander that comes out in the fall. Fred Durst directed it. And,
Wow.
and
He knows Fred Durst too.
What?
Did you guys talk about this all in your episode?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not like in depth about it, but I mean, we talked
Fred
about
Durst
the
is a
experiences,
hell of a director. He
Yeah.
really is as an artist, and I just saw it, and it's got an amazing soundtrack, and Travolta plays this like Rain Man-y kind of obsessed fan who kidnaps me and ties me to a bed, and it's creepy and
So it's
great.
like Stan.
It's more like Misery, and more like Misery, but different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go. Where can people follow you?
Devin
Devin E.
at
Sawa
Devin E.
on
Sawa on
Twitter.
Twitter, and
Yes.
that's it. And
There's an Instagram, too.
D.Sawa on
Instagram. There you go.
So.
Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, until next time, stay hyped. Now it's time for the post show where we hang out with the chat. Kev, can you bring that up real quick? Thank you very much.
I just want to call out everybody in the community right now to please stop changing your PSN names to some version of Johnny Ace. That is taking off right now. Stop using. We can
You're
change our
gonna
PSN names to
regret it.
anything. Huh?
I said you're gonna regret it to them.
Yeah, you're definitely going to regret it when Johnny Ace murders somebody.
Ignacio, why are you coming in the chat with that garbage? I thought we talked about this.
You know Ignacio.
knows better.
He does know better, but he's just going to keep it going with that.
Let's see
That's
here.
really. Normally I agree with you, but I'm not gonna lie. This one got me. Greg sucks.
Devin, did you hear the news that Greg sucked?
Yeah,
read that.
Anakin, I've heard the Spider-Man Platinum is totally doable. I just need to like put all the other games I'm playing down and go back and actually finish
That's
that
the
game.
problem with platinuming anything. And I mean, I'm not even doing the bitter character right. It's just the fact that when you get to, hey, cool, now I'm going to grind out all of the ravens in God of War, it's like, that also is taking away the 3 hours, 4 hours. You could be moving on to the next thing, do the next thing, do the
I mean,
next
that's
thing.
where I'm at with Spider-Man, which was gonna be my first platinum. I wanted it to be Amplitude, but I hit a point where I'm like, it's impossible. Like, there's too many multiplayer things, and like, there's
Yeah.
limits there, obstacles. Whereas Spider-Man, I hit a point where I'm like, it's not fun anymore. Like, now I'm just collecting things that I'm not trying to collect. Like, I'm done with this, and maybe one day, but like, I'd rather do other things. But here I am collecting spirits. But
Right.
it's done.
And that's
And that is it. I just platinum Smash Brothers. You know,
Yeah.
like they don't have that system.
Even now,
Thank
the
God.
struggle I have is like the ongoing struggle I've always had with games as service of like, I love The Division. I would only, it's just like DC Universe. I would only play it if possible, but I need to move on to the next thing and the next thing, and I want it, and I not need to, but I mean, it's the job to play other things and talk about other things, right? And as we get ready
Yep.
for Days Gone to be here, and it's like, well, yeah, I
So close.
I want a platinum Days Gone as well from what I've played, you know, hoping it all hangs out or holds up. But again, like,
Has that
are they gonna
trophy
have
list
some?
been leaked yet?
It has not been leaked yet. No. PlayStation's usually pretty good about that in terms
Yeah.
of posting it publicly. Yeah, somebody might leak it, but like they don't usually hit the server button until right before it goes live.
Oh yeah, no, of course, but I'm
You're
just
talking about somebody.
I'm just
somebody-
talking about the leaks. Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody's gotten to look at it, and so yeah, it'd be one thing to. I think knowing where first party has been at lately with their trophy list, I think they're gonna nail it.
Yeah.
I think, and you know, of course, Eric Jensen, friend of the show, watches this and gets shit on by us all the time. I'm sure he knows that he will be destroyed if it's a bad trophy list. All right. Neil Druckmann doesn't care. He's like, you know what? Here's the Last of Us trophy list. You don't like it, Greg? Too bad. It's like, all right, well, that sucks.
specifically.
But
he
Eric
calls
Jensen
you out.
terrified
No
of me.
kebabs. It's not the reason why Troy Baker isn't in Borderlands 3. Even though, did
Don't-
Troy ever get back to
You
you?
don't know about that.
Yes, he did. He's in Australia. I was like, I texted him this morning, like, are you on this continent? Because I know he's been doing the Australia stuff. And he's like, if you're in Australia, yeah. I'm like, God damn it. Why would I mean that, Troy?
Troy Baker, man.
Hiding that coward.
What a coward.
Let's see. Let's got a couple more here.
Do your thing, man. Oh, here we go. Mark Freeman says, Greg, only 135 platinums, but I'm working on Super Weekend mode. Can't get past stage 2 at the moment. That is true. It is a game that, stage. You have to. All you have to do is get past stage 3. But stage 3 introduces the dust bunnies. Or I guess stage 2 introduces the dust bunnies, and I had to go actually look at the tutorial to figure out what the hell they wanted. And even then, the tutorial is just text on the screen. It doesn't even show you what it means. You got to slide the paddles into the dust bunnies. Very difficult. Very stupid. But again, we did it. It's done. Now I got to do it on Vita when I get home. No big deal. But.
Cameron
Gotta
Kennedy.
keep it up. Gotta get
Captain
them
Fire, I
platinums.
thought they disabled the weekly missions, the dailies and the weeklies because there was an exploit, and so that they've disabled. And did they fix them? Did they put that in the patch that went live this morning? I thought that for sure that was disabled temporarily.
Mr. Yasman says, Tim, do you see that Neil Druckmann's hinting that Logic is in Last of Us Part 2? I don't think he's hinting.
That's not even a hint.
Yeah, Logic is in Last of Us Part 2.
What a time to be alive.
I know. It's
You know what I
crazy,
mean?
man. Hopefully, I guess we have cool friends at some point.
No, he'll never come back.
You don't think so? He's
interviewed
too
him that
big
one
now?
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
We can't even probably get Mers back.
But yeah, Mer's coming in like 2 days ago.
Emlyn, if I got mushrooms for playing
came
games,
here?
no one would be able to stop
He was at
me.
Slim's.
Oh crap! I would have gone.
I
to
see you
that.
there.
Well, I mean, if I had time.
Cameron Kennedy says, I wish that Switch had an achievement system, moon, stars, mushrooms, whatever. Vita was awesome having that as a handled. Honestly, I'm kind of torn on it because on one hand, I'd love that because I'd love the idea of the account like kind of following me everywhere I go. On the other hand, I feel like Nintendo does a good job of having quality achievement systems in its games. Like Mario Odyssey had a great, like it was moons. If you want to get all the moons, that's what that is.
Yeah.
Smash, Spirits, not so much, but they were there, you know? I would much rather that stuff for the NES Online. Like I would love for them to give me a reason to go back and play older games. Because right now it's like I find myself being like, I could play through Super Mario 1, 2, and 3, but I'm like, I've done that 1,000 times. Like,
Right, what's the new reason
Give me
to go do
something.
that?
Give me a new reason to do it. Like challenge me to beat it within 10 minutes or something that where I get something for that.
Give you
even if it's
Nintendo
just,
coins.
Yeah, like, even if whatever the hell it is. But
What is the next thing you're moving on to that you're stoked for to play, Tim?
Days Gone.
Is it? Okay, cool.
Yeah. Well, actually, Mortal Kombat 11.
Ah.
Yeah.
Do you think you're gonna beat Days Gone?
I hope so.
Open world games usually aren't your jam.
yeah,
You
they're
did
not.
Horizon, obviously.
But the thing is that last story trailer they showed like really sold me on it.
Right.
Where I was like, this looks like they're trying to appeal to me, right? Like with
Yeah.
Horizon, I wanted to main quest it, mainline it, and I'm hoping that Days Gone lets me do that. It seems like the type of game though that if there's too much bullshit and having to get gas for your motorcycle pisses me off, I'm giving up.
Okay.
You know, but we'll see.
What's the name of that game? Power Ape?
Ape out.
Ape Out.
Ape out.
Ape Out.
Yeah.
Ape Out.
It's a good one, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, fantastic. This has been the Kind of Funny Games cast. We will see you guys tomorrow at 10 a.m. Twitch.tv/Kind of Funny Games. It's me and Greg doing Games Daily. The return of me.
Woo!
It's been a while.
You been gone?
For like
You been
2 weeks,
hanging
yeah.
out? Yeah.
Yeah, it's been fun.
All right.
So, all right. Love you guys. Bye.